Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Dodge Garage Podcast. I am Mike Musto, your host, along with Kevin Wesley of Wesley Motorsports. What's going on?
Not much, just building cars.
Just building cars. Why are we building cars? What is coming up?
Roadkill Nights is coming up.
Okay, so this is why we're here. We're here to talk about Roadkill Nights. We're here to talk about the Direct Connection Grudge Match. We're here to kind of talk about the contestants, maybe make fun of them a little bit, because let's face it, some are better than others, right? But more importantly, we're here to talk about why Roadkill Nights and the Grudge Match is such an important thing for the fans. So let me ask you this. Why do you like Roadkill Nights so much?
Because it's street racing on Woodward. No other time of the year do you get to run your car down Woodward.
That's correct. But this year's going to be a little different because we partnered up with Tom Bailey's Sick Power Fest. And that's going to happen on August 9th, where Roadkill Nights, the official, is happening on August 10th. Now, the cool part is, think of Sick Power Fest as a test and tune. So if you want to bring your car out and you are a registered drag racer, you can do that. You can do a test and tune on August 9th.
Sounds like a plan to me. I mean, anytime you're doing no prep, you need to test.
Well, that's just it. And even though it's not a full quarter mile, we're going to preface that, it will give you a chance to see if your car hooks, to see how it performs, and basically just to see how it runs overall.
Yeah, everybody needs practice.
Right. And then on Saturday, when all the spectators come in, we're still going to have all the fun stuff, right? You're still going to have your thrill ride. You're still going to have your vendors. You're still going to have food. You're still going to have all that stuff, plus one big kick-ass car show. That is kind of... Listen, as somebody who's raced, don't get me wrong, I love it, but I also love walking around. I love to see what everybody brought to the show and kind of pick out what everybody's varied taste is.
Well, and we love Dodge, but it's not Dodge only either.
No.
It's everything.
That's correct.
Bring whatever you have and bring it out and show it off.
Yeah, I mean, we all hope that you get beat by Dodge because, I mean, we do. We all own Dodges and we love them, so.
Well, anything that has a Hemi engine for power is definitely going to beat anything else.
Now, let's talk about the actual grudge match, okay? Now, for those who have been following Roadkill Nights over the years, you know that every year there's a bunch of influencers and personalities and just people who love the brand that are handpicked to come out and actually build a vehicle and run down to 1320 on Woodward and race against each other. This year, it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I want to backtrack to when the first episode went live, when we talked about everybody running a Hornet, okay? That is not the case anymore, okay? We talked about it and the decision was made, you know what? Let's mix it up a little bit. If everybody's running a Hornet, while they're a lot of fun, let's change the flavor up. Everybody is running a Dodge vehicle. All the contestants are running a Dodge vehicle, but they are very varied. So do you have an idea of what people are running? Because if you don't, I do.
Yeah, there's a couple challengers that are going to be running, and a handful of trucks I know are getting prepped at this point. So when it comes to the participants, I'm going to read them off right now. You people will know some of them and some of them you won't. First up, we've got Tom Bailey. Now, Tom Bailey, for those that don't know, is the owner of the fastest street car in the world. Tom is kind of the guy, right? He's the one that you go, he's got all the experience, he's got all the talent, he is a builder. Plus, he's kind of a big, burly guy, so if you saw him in a bar, you wouldn't really want to piss him off. I feel like that's also his persona on the drag strip. That's just Tom, folks. And when you see him, you're going to be like, Musto was pretty right about this. And he's kind of bringing a big, burly vehicle.
Well, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell everybody what because this is...
He's bringing a Mexican market Ram Charger. So I think it's an 2001. Only available, in the Mexican market. Has a Dodge Caravan rear hatch. Definitely unique vehicle.
Now, there are people out there that are going to go, Kevin, Dodge never made a Ram Charger in 2001. And for the American market, they didn't. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is this. Go to Google, type in 2001 Ram Charger. It's actually pretty cool looking. And when you see it, you're probably going to get mad and be like, why didn't Dodge bring this over to the United States? They do. Listen, there are vehicles that are all over the world that we'll never get. This just happens to be one of them. The fact that Tom is building one and bringing one is literally a reason to come out and check it out because it is a piece of Dodge history that when you see it, you're probably going to go, this is pretty slick. And who knows, you might even want to import one if you can find one. Who do we got next? Oh, Mr. Weston Champlain.
70 Roadrunner.
Okay. So
classic,
he's going old school.
Yeah, he's going old school, classic B-body. Still going to be torsion bars and leaf springs as far as I know.
Okay.
So T6 8-speed, straight into an 8 3/4.
Okay, so that's actually pretty cool because here's one of the things, right? Back in 1970, you could have optioned your road run. You could have got a 318, you could have got a 383 big block, all these other Hemis, whatever the case is. Could you, and correct me if I'm wrong, could you have gotten a slant 6 in this thing?
You would have gotten a slant 6 Belvedere.
Okay.
Which would be the lowest body line of the B bodies
Right.
in 1970 from, well, you got to remember it's a Plymouth. So
Right, but that would have, so if you got that, that would have come with an original 3 on the tree, slant 6?
3 on the tree B bodies is definitely a common thing.
Okay, so that's actually kind of cool because if you're into kind of Mopar lore, that's kind of a neat thing, right? The slant 6 was basically what's called the leaning tower of power. It's a great little motor. It is probably one of the best motors that has ever been created. I'm looking forward to Weston.
Yeah, and it's an old school car, so it's basically something that somebody had and prepped as a drag car. It's got patina, it's not a resto car or anything like that, but it's just going to be a cool car to see.
Okay, so that'll be fun. And for those that don't know, Weston's channel on YouTube, I mean, he's got over 3.5 million subscribers. He does an enormous amount of stuff with vehicles, Dodge vehicles and others, and this is a guy that just likes to have fun with cars. And again, that's really what Roadkill Nights is all about, right? It's about bringing people together to come out and show off their own car, register for the drag race, and have fun. You don't have to come out and think you're going to win. But what you do have to do is you have to come out, you have to put your foot to the floor, and just have fun. Bring the family. It's a great thing. All right, next, Morgan Evans. Do you know Morgan?
I don't know Morgan personally, but I know what she's building.
Okay, I don't know Morgan personally either. However, I did do a little bit of research, and I know that she's doing an 87 D100.
Yep, half-ton short box.
That's a cool truck. That's a cool little rig.
Yeah, no, it'll be, drag racing it's going to be one thing, but ultimately that is going to be a really good driver. A 500 and some horsepower, 8-speed short box pickup, that's going to be a lot of fun to drive.
Yeah. Well, she posted something on social, and guys, you can follow all of these people on social media, and when you go to Dodge Garage, we'll have all their addresses, so you can check out their channels, and you can check out their Instagram and Facebook pages and things like that. But Morgan actually posted a really cool video of the D100, and it's a cool little truck. It's, it was a low mileage truck. I want to say something like 75,000 miles, but it was nice. Like, that's the whole thing. The little 318 was in there, and this is going back to kind of what Weston is doing, which is taking a classic piece of kind of Mopar lore and then bringing it in. And I think that if she can keep the basic shape of the truck and then utilize it after RKN, that's gonna make for one hell of a driver too. Yeah,
and it's fairly easy swap, right? So it's a rear sump already from the factory.
Yeah.
So I mean, the pan that comes on the T6, it's in the DT, it's in the truck series now, as well as WS and Grand Wagoneer. So it's designed out of the box right now as a truck engine. So it's going to fit fine in her truck, and there's going to be plenty of hood clearance, and with the 8-speed, there's plenty of tunnel clearance and all that stuff.
Okay, you know what? Before we go into the next contestants, one of the other things I do want to do is I do want to touch on Direct Connection just for a moment, and power brokers and things like that. Because here's the thing. All the parts that the contestants are receiving are directly from Direct Connection. So talk a little bit about what Direct Connection is and how that benefits anyone who's into the Mopar world.
Well, Direct Connection is the performance brands or performance markets for the Dodge community, right? So, we all kind of know the history of Direct Connection. Not going to touch on that, but it's been around for many, many years, and it's been brought back. And so now, there's a big focus on the late model market. They still do service the early muscle car market still. There's still plenty of parts available for that. But all of the swap kits really don't care what year vehicle you have. If it fits, run it. Right? So T6 is going to be one of those engines where, Direct Connection has been developing the kit that the influencers are going to be using in their vehicles. Right. And that will be available very soon for people to buy at the dealer. So, and one of the things that we do want to clarify is that, here's the thing. If you have a new kind of late model Mopar, and you buy from Direct Connection, and you get these parts installed at an authorized power broker dealer, your warranty is still intact if your vehicle is still under warranty. That is a massive, massive selling point. So because these are factory developed and factory backed parts, your dealer installs them, you're good to go. You don't have anything to worry about.
That's one of the coolest parts about it, I think.
Yeah, and those factory-backed parts with that warranty are going to be like the DC stage kits. So you're going to do like, I have a Hellcat Challenger, and I want to have a stage 1 or a stage 2 kit.
Right.
Those things are available. So, my SRT Hellcat will just make a lot more power.
That's correct. And just so everybody else knows, like Kevin and I are pretty much diehard Mopar people. Like when we talk about this stuff, we talk about it from a place of kind of real passion because we kind of live and breathe this, which is why we get so excited about stuff like Roadkill Nights. So, all right, now we're going to jump back to the contestants and one of our favorite people, Herman Young. Demonology. Herman is a carnival ride of a human being. This is a big man that he brings flair and he brings like exuberance and he's like a carnival that shows up to a carnival, which is a really interesting thing.
He's a good guy. I mean, he's interesting. He has flair. He's definitely a street racer. I mean, he absolutely calls people out all the time with his 170.
Yeah.
Always at the track, always racing, but has that traditional street racer flair.
Yeah.
He's just an all-around good guy, loves Mopars.
Well, his first one, the 2018 Demon, if you guys haven't followed, look up the Soul Snatcher. Because let me tell you something. When Herman first showed up with that car and he just threw down to everybody, he called everybody out. And here's the thing, he backs it up.
Oh, and he's 100% calling everybody out with his 170.
Oh, he doesn't mess around. I will tell you this about Herman, though. Don't take Herman to any type of road course where there are turns. He doesn't do turns. Herman, you know this. I've taken you in the canyons in a Challenger, and you yelled at me because I was going too fast, but I really wasn't. You just don't like turns. So keep it straight. Okay, so let's see. Now we're going to come down to Allison Kovalik. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing her name right. Allison, I hope I am. If I didn't, I apologize. She's actually running a little truck.
Yep.
That's kind of close to my heart. She's running a 99 Dakota, and I used to have one.
Nice. I mean, it's a good lightweight choice.
Yeah.
Rear drive, easy swap again, or should be a fairly straightforward swap. Lots of parts still readily available, and it should fit. Hopefully.
She's a drag racer too.
Yeah.
Right. She's not. This is someone that's not unfamiliar with running down the strip against people, right?
Right.
Because I think here she's got a '67 Dart that she races, and the cool part about the people that are running in this, they all have some kind of experience, some more than others. But again, this is how Dodge brings enthusiasts into the fold in the same way that everybody who registers as a drag racer for Roadkill Nights can kind of become part of the show, right? And whether you get one run or you get 10 runs, it doesn't matter. You're still part of it, and I think that's a big thing. Our last guy, Garrett Alexander Reed. Now, Garrett, if you're on social media, you have to check out American Muscle HD. It is the largest muscle car page with over 2.5 million followers. Now, Garrett, aside from being one hell of a good human being, he's going to run this year. And he is running a 2018 Demon of all cars.
I just know it's a late model Challenger.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a 2018 Demon that he's running.
Well, that'll be interesting, though, for sure.
So here's the thing. So Garrett is a huge burnout guy. And Garrett, I'm saying this with love. I've never seen you drag race. You can whip a burnout better than anybody I've ever seen.
I drag raced Garrett once.
Did you win?
No, actually, he did.
What?
He was driving an SRT Hellcat, and I had my Scat Pack.
Okay, I wasn't expecting. Oh, shit, now I got to take everything back. I was going to make fun of you. But you beat Kevin, and Kevin's setting up a bunch of... I said, it's not okay. You got to tell me this shit beforehand. How am I supposed to know? Okay, well, Garrett's going to run. Garrett's great. Here's the thing. All the enthusiasts are great that are running. All the grudge match competitors are great that are running.
Why aren't you running?
I mean, I might.
Well, you should build something.
We might. We have, last year we put together the world's first wide body Hornet, right? We built this thing. It was our interpretation of what a wide body GLHS concept would be. Now, for those that don't know, if you guys remember back in the 1980s, the Dodge Omni GLS, right? That was a little hot rod, little turbo 4 in that thing. The Hornet started out the same way, little turbo 4, and the thing cranks. We might have a T6 that we can stuff in there and go drag racing.
I mean, you got a Hornet. Why not? Absolutely. Just back half it and send it.
It's already a wide body.
I mean, you got 30 days.
I can fit. That's fine. 30 days is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we might show up as a wild card because if this Hornet does the things that I think it's going to do, it's going to weigh close to 2,000 pounds. We're going to run a 305 drag slick on the back. Who knows? It might even somewhat look like a gasser. Maybe. Either way, it'll be fun. And we might just show up and make fun of people and kind of poke the bear a little bit and see who's really got something under the hood.
I'm sure Herman will race you.
Well, Herman will race anybody. I could show up in a shopping cart with 2 broken wheels and Herman would be like, let's go, Musto, and he would have a great time. Now, if you guys want to go to the event, make sure you go to Dodge Garage. Dodge Garage will have all the information on ticket sales, on parking, on everything you could ever want. So again, dodgegarage.com, that's where you got to show up to go.